Hey everybody, it's Patchy from Infinitys.com. In this Vblog, I'm going to talk about how to extract database information through SQL injection. In full disclosure, episode 11, we showed you how to use SQL injection to extract user password hashes from a WordPress SQL database. WordPress is open source, so we were able to go online and look up information about the WordPress's databases, columns, and tables. However, what do we do if the web application is not open source? How do we know what tables and columns to extract information from? In this Vblog, I'm going to explain how to use Information Schema Database to extract information about the website's tables and columns. In MySQL version 5.02 and above, there's an additional database called Information Schema. This database provides access to the database's metadata. This includes the names of databases, tables, and columns, the data type of columns, and access privileges, along with some other information. Basically, Information Schema is a database where information about all other databases is kept. It is a built-in virtual database with the sole purpose of providing information about the database system itself. The MySQL server automatically populates the tables of Information Schema. Alright, I have a backup here of WP forms running on our server computer. If you haven't seen Full Disclosure episode 11, I suggest that you go back and watch it before you continue this video. In episode 11, we found a SQL injection flaw in WP Form's user profile page. We could use union select statements to amend data to the SQL query. And if you remember from the video, there were 7 columns of data. Everything seems to be working properly, so let's extract data from the Information Schema database. The first things that we want to extract are the names of the other databases. That data is contained in the Information Schema database under the schemata table, and the schema underscore name is the column that contains the database's names. Alright, this is what the union select statement looks like. I changed all those numbers to nulls, and in the second column I put the schema underscore name. That way we can extract the database's names into a column that is visible to us. And then I do from Information Schema, which is the database, dot schemata. Just paste that in. Alright, and there you go. Those are the databases. There's 3 different databases. There's the Information Schema database, obviously, the MySQL database, and the WordPress database, which is just WP. Alright, so now we know the name of the database that we want to extract all our information from. So the next thing we want to do is we want to find important tables that we might want to extract databases from. And that information is obviously contained in the Information Schema database under the Tables table, and the columns that we're going to extract data from are the table name, obviously, and table schema, which is going to tell us not only the name, but also the database. So that way we know which tables belong to which databases. Alright, there you go. You can see the table names, and underneath that you can see which database they're in. You will notice in this situation that we can only see the first 10 results. Depending on how your web application is programmed, you may be able to change the result limit. And to do that, after your union select statement, just type in limit, the number of results that you want. We're just going to put in 100, and then the comment, which is just dash dash. Alright, there you go. You can see all the results. There's a whole bunch of them. And if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see WP_users. That is a table, that is WordPress's table that contains all user information. If you remember from episode 11, that's the table we use to extract password hashes. So in a situation where the web application is closed source, we would now have information on which tables to start extracting information from. However, some websites are programmed only to show the first result and not loop through each result. In that situation, you can do something like this. I'm just going to change the limit to 1, and then you can use the keyword offset to display each table one at a time. It might be a lot of guess and check work, but eventually you'll find some useful information. So I've already gone ahead and found out that offset 51 is the WordPress user table, as you can see right there. Now that we found an interesting table, we need to extract information about columns in that table. The data that we want to extract from the columns table is schema name, table name, and column name. However, we only have 2 columns in our union select statement that are visible to us. So we're going to use the concat function to concatenate table schema and table name together. So the function looks like this: table schema, comma, hex 20, which is space in ASCII, comma, table name. And then the column name is going to be outputted to the other location. And then it's just from information schema dot columns. Alright, there you go. The first line is the column name, and then underneath that is the database that it's in, and then the table that it's in. And like before, we can change the limit to see all the columns. And I'm going to put in 10,000 as the limit, just to make sure that all the columns are outputted to the screen. Alright, there you go. It outputted all the columns. And you just need to look through it to find columns in the WP database and in the WP_users table. And if you look towards the bottom, you'll see user login and user pass and other columns in the WordPress users table. And like before, you can set the limit to 1 and use offset to go through each column one at a time. And I already found that offset 445 is the user pass column. Alright, now we have all the information that we need to extract password hashes from the website's database. We want to change our union select statement to extract data from user pass and user login columns. Those columns are stored in the WP users table, and that table is stored in the WP database. We use information schema to locate where this data is stored. And there you go, we're able to extract the admin password hash. Well, that's it for this Vblog. I hope you guys liked it.